Alright, so Apocalypse of the Gods chapter 18. This chapter's peak, and I did tell you guys at the end of last chapter, do not count out Nezha, bro. Everybody was writing him off. I told you guys he was not done. We'll see how this all plays out, but this is a pretty damn good chapter. Before that though, big shout out to all the members that joined last month. I appreciate all the support. I want to give you guys a shout out in this video. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, drop a like in this video. It helps me out. Thank you. So we start things off a little further back than where we end the last chapter. Obviously, we got this shot at the end of last chapter, this diabolical shot of Morgan holding on to Nezha by his hair, his limbs gone, and he looks like he's done, out for the count. We see that when she grabbed his arm, Nezha's alerts were going off throughout his head. He screamed out organs, mystical armor, and then the impact happened. The narrator says the Dreadnought's one punch tears the arena asunder. One of Nezha's organs, the mystical armor of heaven and earth, it was a recreation of Shi Feng Wei Li, aka Wukong's technique that he finished Prometheus with. However, what he replicated was the concept of storing the energy from the taken attack and releasing it back out. But this was only how it was supposed to work in theory. He did not have the durability of the unbreakable Wukong, so it wasn't going to work the same way. Nezha's body reached its capacity and was instantaneously overwhelmed by Morgan's simple punch. Don't forget, this is a quote-unquote simple punch from Morgan. We then cut away, we see some reaction shots, and we actually see some of the Egyptian goddesses with Ra, so confirmed he's alive. Obviously, we already expected this, but he seems to be recovering, not moving, but he's recovering in some kind of tank, so hopefully, we're holding out that hope that he shows up for Anubis' fight. Hercules, Prometheus, Indra, Suzaku recovering. All these people, and then we cut to Suzaku's friends with Tiger saying no way, she really is unbelievable, that much power, the Morgan, and we get this aura shot of Morgan. Now we see Nezha, of course, in a crater in the ground, so she slammed him into the ground, so it's confirmed that that was simply damage from one punch. She wasn't even ripping off his limbs. Her one punch just obliterated his limbs. That's actually nuts. She then picked him up, scoffed at him and said, "Called it, you fucked up when you challenged me. What a waste of time, you weren't even a good warm-up." Now that's pretty cool because she's warming up for that Irish legend, man. She's warming up for him, she wants that get back. Yara starts to announce that it's over, but as she announces that it's over, Wukong steps into the arena, cuts her off and says no. I told you guys, Wukong walking into the arena meant Nezha's getting his ass back up. He has to, because this is his arch rival. They weren't going to give him that portrayal of going relative with Wukong all those years ago. No winner being decided if he wasn't going to be some kind of beast. He says no, and at that moment, while Morgan's walking away looking the other direction, she notices something happen, and we see she's been impaled. Nezha has struck her from behind with a blade. She's like, what the? You want to keep going? And actually smirks. She turns around real quick and tries to punch him once more, but Nezha's too fast. He ends up behind her this time. She glances behind her, but what she sees is nothing like what she saw before. We see Limit Break Code Asura, and this form is awesome. This is actually my favorite form from the spin-off so far, dude. This form is awesome. He looks like a straight savage, way better than his initial design. But this is Nezha's final form, and Medaio's confused. Wukong's boys are confused. Ares says, what the hell is that form? His arms and legs, he regrew them. And Yara says, no, I was wrong. It is far from over. Or a shot of Nezha looking like a beast. And Morgan's a little confused. She questions it. She's like, so you grew some new arms? You really think that means you'll win? And she charges at him with yet another punch. This time again, Nezha sidesteps it, lands an uppercut with one of his new arms, slams it into Morgan. She goes flying up into the sky, spits out a ton of blood. Nezha follows her up into the sky and slams her with another punch, this time to the face, sends her crashing to the ground with a boom impact. Yara says incredible. People in the crowd are shook. Crater in the ground. This time Morgan's the one inside, but one of Nezha's arms seems to shatter and wither away. Then another one does. Now his leg is being affected. His whole body is starting to crack. And Wukong notes, this guy is an asshole. His friends run over to him. They're like, big bro, you ended up coming after all. But this is weird. That guy, that form, we don't recognize it. And Wukong says, yeah, I don't know either. Back then, when we fought, it dragged on for ages because he just kept regenerating. So that's why the fight took so long. That's why there was no winner, at least as far as we know now, because Every time Wukong tried putting him down, Nezha would keep getting back up. And Nezha did his own damage to Wukong as well. I'm sure Wukong got tired after a while as well. But that's what happened. Makes a lot of sense. His brothers say, you never told us that. And Wukong says at the end of the fight, the final technique he showed, he pulled out all of his weapons at the same time in all-out attack form. But this new form is completely different from that one. So that's what he used at the end. We don't get to see the final clash between the two of them. We don't know how it all shook out, but it's not the same thing. So Nezha has gotten stronger since that fight with Wukong, as I'm sure Wukong has gotten stronger as well. We'll see if they get their rematch down the line. We'll find out. Another cool shot of Nezha, and his eye looks awesome. Looks like blood is flowing out of his eye, although that might just be part of the design. It might just be the veins coursing through his face. And his internal system says signs of life confirmed, of course referencing Morgan. She gets up from the crater in the ground, dripping blood all over the place, but still smiling as she laughs and says, starting to look like a real fight now, ain't it? We hear her heartbeat, we see the damage inflicted to her stomach, we see her spitting up blood, and Enmedio says, damn, that did real damage. And Zeus says, Hermes, how does it look to you? And Hermes replies, this is only my best guess, but this new form of Nezha's, I dare say it sacrifices his own life force in order to maintain operationality. Now Hermes is known for actually knowing. I don't know why he's acting like he doesn't know, but he always is spot on with his analysis. At that moment we see his leg basically completely shattered. It started cracking, but now completely shattered. He falls to the ground. Morgan sees this, says ah, and Nezha catches on that she's like, watching him. And he says, what's wrong? Hurry up, come and get me. Are you scared, outer god? And he just looks at her with a defiant face. Almost looks like he's done here. And like, he's like, kind of like, hey, you better come kill me. But I think he's still got something else up his sleeve. Morgan hears this. She starts bursting out laughing. We get some narration that says Nezha's body, after receiving the tremendous power from Morgan's punch, by using his regenerative capabilities, he forcibly kept it stored within himself. And this destructive energy, which by all rights should have destroyed his body in an instant, transferred into his fist. So he did somehow tank her punch. He just keeps on, shifting it through his regenerative tissue. He keeps regenerating again. He regenerated his arms, and now he rushes towards her, back with his legs, back with his arms once more. Morgan sees this and says, nice. In that case, I'm showing off too. This one is gonna be a real punch. So everything before this, she's been holding back. We haven't got the explanation on her gauntlet yet, so we're probably gonna get that next chapter as well. But the final narration does say both fighters full power, the fight ends next issue. So this is wild. If you were to say right now who's got the advantage, well, if we are gonna get some explanation on Morgan's punching power, maybe she's got the advantage right now. But I'm interested in what you guys think. Who is going to take this victory? I know a lot of people are writing Nezha off. Do you still stand with Morgan? Do you think that she pulls this one out? Or do you think Nezha procures the victory and gets one step closer to the rematch with Wukong? I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace.